I found in my wife's email she did it with a professor in my own bed. So I made a bait and she took it only to find herself exposed and ashamed publicly while my stomach hurt from laughing. This story is about 12 years old. I told it to one of my coworkers yesterday, and he said I should share it on Reddit. Today he again nudged me, so here we are having drinks before the 4-day weekend and my writing is complete. In college, I met a woman who I thought was my one. We dated for about 2 years and had a big damn wedding after a 10-month engagement. Her family was pretty well to do in a small southern town. We were both continuing our education, and I was also working to support us. I was pursuing a master's in engineering while she was finishing her doctorate in anthropology. Over the summer, an opportunity came up for her to make some extra money going as an aide on a religious studies trip to Jamaica. I didn't hesitate when she asked me about it. I mean, she was going to get to visit Jamaica and get paid for it. I saw no downside other than missing her being at home for 6 weeks. Little did I know at the time, but she had been ducking the professor. He had hung out with us, smoked my green tea, and drank my ducking beer. I considered him a friend who arranged the trip for a couple of months, and it was a getaway for them to do it regularly all over the island. I, clueless and happy, went about the weeks while she was gone taking extra shifts, so I could match what she made in our account and surprise her. What a dip crap, right? One of the students from the trip actually seeked me out to clue me in. I didn't believe him until I started looking for evidence on my own. I broke down and checked her texts while she was sleeping and nothing was there. There were a few VMs, so I decided to listen, and there it was, a message from the giant a-hole saying how exciting it was that I almost caught them. I opened up her laptop and hit the emails after that. It was piles and piles of crap, making fun of me for not knowing, ducking in our bed and laughing about it. There was so much and I was so heartbroken. Still too hurt to take any action. I was lost. I had no idea what to do, so I sat on it for a couple weeks and acted as normally as I could. I noticed everything now. I felt so stupid for not seeing it before. So many signs. One stuck out in particular. I noticed that our stash of homemade green tea oiling, if you've never tried it, I highly recommend giving it a go, was going down even though we weren't having sex. It was obvious they were also using the fruits of my labor to get off more effectively. This really pissed me off. Like unreasonably so, Hulk ducking mad. It finally all hit me. I was a goddamn joke to these a-holes, and they were using the oiling I made and ducking in my bed. I didn't hurt anymore, I just wanted to make them hurt. So, while she was studying at the library, I made a new batch of oiling. I put enough green tea in it for it to smell like normal, but I also added some poison ivy from our backyard to the mixture, and after refilling the spray bottle we used for application, I waited. A few days go by and I'm working extra so I can be out of the house more, and bam, bait taken. That night after she goes to sleep, my plan goes into action. I sneak her phone away and delete my contact, while replacing his phone number in his contact as mine. I go to bed but can't sleep because it feels like I'm 5 and tomorrow is Christmas. Dawn arrives and she's in the shower. I get a text. I'm super itchy, are you okay? Now Lord, now is my time. Look, I thought it had cleared up, but I guess I had a flare-up. I'm sorry, but I've got herpes, and I guess you do now too. I heard this ditch squeak in the shower. I'm covering my mouth, damn near losing it. I went on to tell her that it was time to end things now. A new semester was about to start, and I kind of have a little crush on another T/A. I wanted her mad. This is a woman that never got told no growing up, and never had to deal with rejection. Let alone from a balding dude in his 50s with herpes. When she got out of the shower, it was obvious she had been crying, but I could see the anger in her eyes. I could see how uncomfortable she was, squirming at the table drinking coffee, and mulling the situation over. Another little nudge is what she needed. The reply she got to her pages and pages of anger and sadness was, "Thanks for the good times, but can you keep this a secret between us? I don't want to ruin my chances with anyone else." She's flush with anger now, just seething. She gathered her keys and headed out the door without even saying goodbye. I knew where she was going. I booted up her laptop and set it to reformat, deleting her dissertation and any notes pertaining to it before following her to campus. I parked a few lots over and rushed over to his office, where I found her screaming at him for giving her herpes. There's lots of people there. Professors, aides, students, other faculty. I'm dying. He is beyond embarrassed and confused as duck. She is ugly, crying in front of her peers. I'm in heaven. I didn't even care that people were going to think I had herpes too. The fallout was apocalyptic in their department. He lost his job due to code of conduct at the university. We got divorced the following year. State law was we had to be separated for 1 full year before being granted a divorce. I got to keep most of the assets, primarily savings, and not a ton, but I worked for it. She never finished her doctorate and went on to be a perpetually pregnant housewife that sells Herbalife on Facebook, and he teaches high school now. It took a few years for it all to unfold, but watching it was glorious. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. As they say, revenge is best served cold. I would have lost it as soon as I found out, and would have never had the time to plan something so epic. How's your love life now? Have you ever trusted another woman after that? OP reply. I've always been pretty calm. I can usually think my way through things better if I approach it rationally, hence the career in engineering. I was proud of myself for that though. You never really know what you have in you until you need it. My love life now is amazing. I have a smoking hot amazing wife. Getting through this situation without crumbling into a mess gave me the biggest confidence boost. Dating was easier after this happened, and I got a touch of notoriety at school for my stunt. Comment 2. What were the other signs? OP reply. She spent tons of time at the library when I was off work, but whenever I was working she'd study at the house and have him over. I thought he was really cool for helping her get it done. I noticed her laughing as she typed away at her computer or phone. Mostly I saw the excitement of when we first fell in love. But I saw it pointed elsewhere. Careless wife is mad I don't cook at home and joked badly. But WW3 started when I did something she never expected to make her reap what she sow. I work at a nice restaurant as a cook, and every day, when I get off from work I always cook dinner for my wife and our 2 kids, 8M and 6F, at the restaurant before coming home. The only time I don't cook for them are on weekends when I'm off, and that's when my wife does the cooking. We usually trade off who makes breakfast and luck for the kids every other day, but for the week I'm always the one bringing home dinner. Weekends we sometimes get together with friends and they come over to the house. My wife usually cooks and I help set the table/clean afterwards. One of her friends, Stacy, asked how come I never do any of the cooking, and is it always on my wife all the time making meals for the kids, especially when I'm a cook myself. Instead of correcting her she sort of laughed and went along with it, making jokes about you know how it is. And Stacy laughed because her ex-husband was the same way. And then sort of ripped on me in a joking way how I better buck up before I become an ex too. My wife just said, well, let's see if he actually listens and starts cooking for once. Joking about all the time I spend in the kitchen at work, but won't do the same at home. It really pissed me off. I'm not the husband that just doesn't do anything after I'm home from work. I cook food for her and the kids at work, and on top of that I make separate dishes for each of them, what she wants and what the kids want. All that after standing on my feet all day. We talked about it once they left because I don't appreciate being told I'm not doing something she knows for a fact I do. She didn't want to apologize for it because it was all just to be a funny joke. Even after telling her about how it hurt my feelings being put down like that. My wife said she felt like she has to go along with the joke so there wouldn't be any awkward vibes, whatever that means. But I said fine, if she can't apologize for something that was mean just so she could laugh along with her friends, then I won't keep doing something she already claims I don't do. For the past week I've only brought home dinner for our kids, and she's had to make her own food. She's mad that I'm refusing to feed her over what happened instead of letting it go, but I can't help but feel mad about being made fun of like that when I'm busting my butt to provide for my family and still making sure they have food on the table every evening. She just thinks I'm an a-hole for how I'm reacting when she's already tired at the end of the day, but still having to make food for herself. Aita? We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1, NTA. Your wife missed a great opportunity to boast on you, all for acceptance by others, who have nothing invested in your relationship. Comment 2, holy hell, she was getting a professional chef-level meal every weeknight, specifically prepared for her, then decided for funsies to go all haha, yeah my husband never cooks, what a sexist fool LMAO the ducking gall. NTA, she can make herself craft dinner from now until she apologizes. Update. At first wasn't going to post another update, but since things have gotten better, why not? I didn't show my wife this post like some suggested until a few days later, but before that she wanted to talk before bed. And she apologized for how she's been behaving with me, when she made those jokes, and let her friends say things about me, then how she was acting afterwards. In reality she knew she did wrong, but when I called her out it made her defensive, and she realizes how she was acting like a child after knowing how much I do for our family. That's when I showed her the post. And opened up about something that was mentioned by me in my comments, how it really hit a nerve for me, making it seem like I'm a lousy father/husband when my dad was exactly that, he abandoned me and my mom. She knows how important it is for me to be as involved as possible when our kids were born, because I never wanted to be like him. So her making it seem like that's how I am brought up some feelings. Telling her this really made her feel like she ducked up big time. She wouldn't stop apologizing, she promised she'd never put me down that way. And honestly, I think she's shown that she meant her apology. For a week she wanted to be the one making dinner for everyone so I'd have some time to relax after work. It was nice, but also missed making meals for my family. Cooking for my kids is my own way of expressing my love for them, so we're back to that as well. I feel like my wife has more than shown how sorry she is and appreciates what I also do for this family. Last time we had lunch with her friend a few days ago on my day off, she even brought it up. As mad as I was when it happened, it's nice to see she's made an effort to make amends. The support I got from here was very sweet, appreciating the feeling heard when it felt like my wife wasn't at the time.